What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers in hell for you, the true gamers.
It's warm!
I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps Bro. How are you doing today?
This house is really strange.
Yes.
Because, like, downstairs is normal temperature.
Quite cool sometimes
it's okay.
as well.
We're in English summer, which means 2 days ago I was wearing hoodies to work. And today I'm roasting.
Now you're asking, please work, let me come in my underwear, please.
All right. Like, you know, there's underwear, they're under, but I'm not wearing anything above them. So do I have to even wear them at all?
Do they still
Do
count?
I need the wears at all?
Does it still count?
But this room, I don't know what it is, but it seems to like funnel the heat from this house and the neighbouring 5 all up to here.
Yeah. It's we might be able to. Maybe there's a phenomenon here that we could capture somehow and convert into energy.
Yeah,
because
that's what we need. Global warming. We can definitely monetize this.
Because somehow there's more heat in here, and I'm sure there's a turbine we can get that can turn that heat inside. Because we have the AC blasting at our feet right now.
You can't actually tell.
And it's like, oh, it's a bit cooler there.
Oh, like I can tell it's on my feet, but like up here, I can't tell there's AC in this room.
No,
and this thing, I presume, has been on for like more than 20 minutes.
The whole day.
Yeah, to keep the room.
Every now and again I came up here to upload something, and I'm just... Anyway, this is awful, and everything's awful right now.
It's true. Everything is awful.
Everything is awful, but other than that, is everything okay in life?
Yeah, I got an hour of Jedi Survivor in today.
Oh my god.
So I'm up to 2 hours on the game. I finished the final heist, the first heist. So, you know, I fought the first boss fight, the sister.
Yeah.
And then made an escape. And now we're off to meet Grease.
Yeah.
For the first time in the game. That's how far I am.
Right.
That's all the gaming time I've had in 2 weeks.
I'm quite substantially far ahead of you. Still haven't finished my playthrough as well.
Yeah.
But I'm finding it very difficult. I've kept my difficulty on a high setting. It's like the one before the highest setting, and I'm determined to not bring it down because my pride won't let me. So so there's that. But it's good fun so far. How are you finding it? Have you had any glitches or anything like that?
I actually have had a couple of frame rate drops. But other than that, not too bad.
That is something that's happening, yeah.
And, really frustratingly, I probably would have got another 20 minutes on the game, except that on the way to Grease, I hit, you know, the interact to go, and it was like, oh, you need to download the patch to...
Motherfucker!
So there's a patch I obviously don't have.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I stopped. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, you need to download all the patches to play.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had. I guess there was like a small tweak that came out recently.
You must not have connected to the internet, or at least updated it at that time. Because I remember people saying this at launch, like people who got it early or something like that were like, "Oh, I cannot go to this area because it needs a patch or something." That's like weird. That. Did it come up with the whole message?
Yeah, on the screen.
Yeah, I never saw that myself, but I was like, "That's crazy!" Like, essentially, the game comes out and it's incomplete. And it's not incomplete to the point where it's broken. Yeah, it's incomplete that it's like, we still haven't built this area yet.
Yeah. But by the way, it's the second area.
Yeah.
Like, a bit of me was thinking maybe I should turn the difficulty down to, like, decrease the playthrough time and just experience the story. But one, it wouldn't be very fun. I'm just playing on normal.
Just wait till you get to a proper boss fight.
That's the thing as well. I'm playing on normal, and it's not hard, you know, and mainly it's... my difficulty, I have had some difficulty, but that is because I forgot how much lag there was between attacks and being able to dodge. So I'm getting hit by red attacks because I'm attacking too much. I'm in the middle of spamming attacks, so I got to get used to that. Forgot what buttons are force, pull, and push and stuff. Also, because the last time I played it was 2 weeks ago, so I'm rusty. But otherwise, like, it's not hard. But my big issues are things like this, which is that changing the difficulty doesn't change the fact that I have to navigate X distance or can't load into the next area. So it wouldn't have even helped anyway.
I'm telling you, the problems you're going to face are going to be those bosses, because it's just, like, don't get me wrong, it's pattern recognition at the end of the day, and you do something wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah.
But you get frustrated quite easy, and I'm at that point right now, and I almost ripped out my hair today.
Good to know. Yeah. Good to know.
Bro, before we jump right into the first topic, We
Yeah.
have to thank our super bros who support us over at patreon.com/Conbrosations, who keep the lights and mics on. I haven't even got the list up myself, and I'm introing the Patreon people. Kind of a loser, am I? Yeah, who keep the lights and mics on, these great people over at Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. They are Isak the Ultimate Comstock, My Juicy Left Nut, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sundling, Mikey T, the Gamer Giant, Jim Heim, and Gamsmaster, the leader of the Empire, the fearless one, the great Lord Vader himself, step cousin, who isn't really that important, but you know, he likes to be invited in his family photos, and every now and again just spill over the. I'm not going to do the thing again. I was going to do spill over the milk, but I'm not going to do it again. I'm not gonna do it
Cool.
again. Thank you so much for your support, guys. We appreciate you all so much. Okay, let's kick it off with the first topic. This episode is going to be mainly about the Summer Games Fest announcements and
Yeah.
going through those. However, there was one big topic that came up before Summer Game Fest, and I feel like it should be the title. It should be the big thing.
Let's do it.
So, guys, here it is. The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer that we keep calling factions
Yeah.
and whatnot might be in a bit of trouble.
I heard this.
Yes. So,
But I thought it was vicious rumors, so I didn't want to like talk about
well,
it.
here's the thing. It kind of was rumors at the beginning, but then there was more information that came out that kind of made it seem likely. Let me start from the back.
Yeah.
After PlayStation did their PlayStation showcase, where they showed some cool games, but notably a lot of first-party studios were absent. We were like, "What the hell happened to factions?"
Where's Naughty Dog? Where's Bend? Where's
Sucker Punch,
Where's
all these big hitters that you're like have IP coming, you have games coming, and we don't know anything about them. But most notably, me and you, we spoke about how Last of Us Factions was announced a while ago, was shown the first teaser last year at I think it was Summer Games Fest last year, and we were like, cool, so surely they're going to be showing something this time, and they didn't. After the showcase happened, Naughty Dog took to Twitter with one of their pictures, and they say this: "The Last of Us fans, we know many of you have been looking forward to hearing more about our Last of Us multiplayer game. We're incredibly proud of the job our studio has done thus far, but as development has continued, we've realized what is best for the game is to give it more time. Our team will continue to work on the project as well as our other games in development, including," by the way, they said games, they're plural, "as well as including a brand new single-player experience. We look forward to sharing more soon. We're grateful for our fantastic community, for your support. Thank you for your passion for games. It continues to drive us, Naughty Dog." So when that came out, I was a little bit bummed. I was like, oh, Naughty Dog not doing so well. A little bit upset about that.
Yeah.
But what can you do? Life is life. Let's move on, everyone.
Right.
Didn't think too much more past that. But then, Jason Schreier came out with a report from Bloomberg saying apparently that The Last of Us multiplayer is apparently in big trouble. They're saying that the game has not been cancelled. Specifically, they said it's not been cancelled, but it's been put on the back burner. And they've taken developers off of the project and put them onto other things.
Yeah.
Which is concerning to say the least.
Usually you only do that when something's ready.
Yeah. And they say that apparently the reason for taking developers off of it was because Bungie came in and acted as a sort of a, let's see what you guys got in terms of multiplayer games, because they do good multiplayer games. And they said that what they've got there isn't very sustainable. They're saying that they're not going to be able to make content fast enough for it, and that this isn't going to work out.
Right.
So they need to really rethink what's going on. By the way, all of this is just what Jason Schreier is saying. He's saying he's talked to multiple people close to the project. So it seems kind of true, but who knows? We don't know officially than that.
It is first-hand accounts of first-hand accounts. So not second-hand information.
Yes.
Right? Meaning, like, it's worse than second-hand information.
Yes.
Right? It's like this guy who gets paid to write something that's good, negative things do better, has spoken to people that have spoken to people close to the project
Yeah.
that say it's in trouble.
It's hard to gauge. The only thing that makes it
Although I agree, I do think it's in trouble.
the only thing that makes me think about it is that when this statement from Naughty Dog came out, it seemed kind of like, okay, maybe they're just trying to like make the fans happy because a lot of people probably were waiting like we were. But then Jason Schreier goes on, well, as Jason Schreier does, as journalists do, is when they write a piece and they're about to release it, they call out to the people in question for comments, say, look, we're going to post this piece. You can't stop us. Would you like to say anything that we can also add with our report?
Yeah.
So and so. And apparently they got that information and then Naughty Dog decided to get ahead of it and post their statement online, which kind of confirms that there is some real stuff to this. Otherwise, Sony would have just gone, no, that's completely false.
Yeah.
And they have that fiduciary obligation to say the truth.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all lining up. Now, they still, as I said, in that report, Jason Schreier does say that it has not been cancelled. It has not been cancelled and it is still going ahead.
Yeah, but
it's very, also in the statement, it's very telling that maybe they don't have as much confidence in it because they immediately jump to, oh guys, this is being delayed, but, we're working on other games, especially a brand new single player experience, guys. It's like if you were really known for making pizza and then people will come like, oh, you invite us around for dinner, what are you making? Pasta.
the thing is,
Oh, but I'm also making pizzas. Don't you worry.
Yeah, don't forget.
It doesn't sound like you're excited for your pasta anymore.
The other thing is, okay, it's not cancelled, but can I give you another game that wasn't cancelled? Anthem. That came out. Right? They released Anthem. And that actually destroyed people's consoles. That, you know, when like Bungie saying there isn't enough content here, it's not ready.
Nothing in that.
Right, it was empty. And but there were also bits you could see were there that you couldn't access. And I don't mean like backgrounds. I mean like you were walled off. There were clearly like pathways, bridges over places that you couldn't. We're not, again, not a background, a bridge that you just could, invisible wall. There was no way to unlock it. You know, like. So just because it's not cancelled doesn't mean shit. No, it's Naughty Dog.
Yeah, they do. They are cut from a different cloth, right?
They are.
It does seem like though.
I'll say this in my like defense of Naughty Dog. Not that I trust Naughty Dog to bring out bangers no matter what, but I feel that if Naughty Dog were like, this isn't good enough, we're not going to bring it out, that they would actually do that and say it's not going to work.
Yeah, I get that feeling as well, right?
You know, we're going to have to scrap this project.
And it's also telling as well because it's not like Naughty Dog are completely autonomous. They still have to answer to Sony.
Yeah.
And Sony have been known to cancel projects if it doesn't look good.
They'll Sudoku a project like that.
Straight up. They'll Sudoku their shit out of it. So, clearly there's something there. Like, maybe the report was like, look, this isn't good enough to be the multiplayer game that you want. Go back and give it a bit more work and maybe you can get there. And if it's true that PlayStation is using Bungie to go around to the studios and go, is this a good multiplayer game? Is this a good multiplayer game? Then it has already gone to places like Haven and assessed them. It's gone to places like, was it Firewalk or something like that?
Yeah.
Gone already to them and already okayed them because they've already announced they're coming out and stuff like that. It just seems to be that Naughty Dog's one isn't as good as it should be.
The thing is as well, the question that we haven't actually asked is how good does it need to be? Meaning that, like, if Sony has set the bar of their story games at X and they've just gone, well, that's the bar, well, can this compete with insert applicable game? You know, like whatever the God of War of that type of game is. So like, let's say Gears of War if it's a third person shooter, or Apex Legends or Call of Duty if it's a first person shooter, as an example, or PUBG, you know, those sorts of games. Like, can it compete with these? No, well, it's not good enough then. It's not ready. Like, well, maybe it's a perfectly good game and it's just not like the best shooter ever made, but they're like, well, you can't bring it out.
It's definitely contingent on what their standard is, right? I mean, it could be as well that they're holding Naughty Dog's game to a higher standard than all those other ones that I mentioned as well.
Very possibly.
Very possible, because it's Naughty Dog and you don't want to tarnish their name. Sorry. Something Colin Moriarty said that kind of stuck with me is that PlayStation have got all these first party multiplayer games coming out. Not all of them can succeed. And
of course, yeah.
probably you don't want all of them to succeed, because then they're in competition with each other. And if it's okay if it's like, okay, Epic Games has one multiplayer game, Activision has one multiplayer game, EA has one multiplayer game, they have to compete because they're not part of the same company. They have to try and steal people away from each other. But if you invent 5 multiplayer games and they're all stealing people away from each other within its own ecosystem, then that doesn't make any sense. What he said was, what if they're thinking about this multiplayer game as a forever, everlasting multiplayer game, when really they should think about it as a bit of a shorter game?
3-year game
right.
at most, yeah.
3 years, something like that.
Call of Duty's a 6-month game. It used to be before the battle royales. You know?
And they've got themselves in a good cycle where they can just keep selling a game every single year. But what if it's supposed to be like until the next Last of Us comes out, for example? But it's supposed to be really good. And then you get to sell another $70 game and another $70 game. Maybe their mindset's completely wrong. The only thing is that we just don't know where their mind is. We don't know what they're thinking.
That's the thing. This is this is not the typical last 10, 15 years of Sony games.
Yeah.
Obviously, that they've brought out multiplayers and stuff, but you know, the steak and chips is the God of Wars, the Last of Us is. So I don't know. I will say my default position is that suits are suits, right?
Yeah.
And that actually, when they're saying the game's not good enough, it's just shit. That's my knee-jerk reaction, is say it's probably just junk. It's just not good.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason. And like, I don't know how game development works. Naughty Dog might be the best at making, you know, like The Last of Us, Uncharted, stuff like that. But then when it comes to this sort of thing, they just don't have the skill set. Like the best baker in the world is not going to make you the what's another food? The best steak, right?
Yeah.
And the best steak guy isn't going to make you the best cake,
yeah.
right? There's a reason that there are like those sorts of chefs and bakers, like they separate, even though you're both making food. So even though you're both making games, there might be a reason that. I was about to say Respawn, but I just realised they made Jedi Survivor. Ignore Respawn. You know? Like, there's a reason that these guys tend to specialise in a certain thing.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if these incredibly talented people just can't hit the mark. You know, they're 10% off here, and the management makes 10% decisions off there, and there's 10% off everywhere. And then before you know it, the game comes out 30% as good as like, Uncharted, for the different, you know, genre. I don't know.
Gut check. How do you feel about this game, and what do you think about its future?
Tough question to answer, because I was never excited for Factions.
Okay, fair. So you're still in the same light. Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be. I'm going to be watching it way more closely.
Yeah.
Way more closely now. Because
there's some interesting stuff around it.
For the record, I thought Factions was always just going to be basically an updated version of the Factions we got before, and 2 people would play it. And the game that I actually wanted should have been like The Division.
Yeah.
You know, I've put that out into the world enough times. That's the game I wanted them to make and would have played. So I'm not interested in it. However, I still got to watch and see what happens. And look, I love Naughty Dog, but if they mess up, I'm gonna rub their face in it. Yeah. Of course I am. I'm gonna stick to making. Well, what should we say? Stick to making God of War, Naughty Dog.
Just come out with a random thing. Listen, if you're just stuck to making your Japanese games, you'd be much better.
And then I'm gonna tweet freaking Sucker Punch. When is my next? You know, like. Freaking
give me Last of Us.
yeah, exactly.
Give me Uncharted.
Yeah, like tweet Insomniac, like, where's my samurai game? You know, like,
we don't know what
are you talking about? That's not us, it's the other guys. Are you telling me any freaking games company that starts with an S all looks the same to you? So racist.
So that was perfect. That's gonna completely expunge you of any
Right,
feelings.
exactly. I'm in the clear now. No, before I wasn't interested. Now I'm super interested to see how big of a fire this ends up being. My best case scenario, I thought maybe it's just they've got super high standards. Realistically, I think it's probably an actual dumpster fire. What about you?
I have done a massive 180.
Okay.
Now, it's not that my excitement's different, right? Like, my excitement's sort of gone for it now because I'm thinking it's not going to come out. That's my thing. I think this is going to be cancelled. I think this game is never going to see the light of day.
I agree.
I think that they've already gone out in front of it and to set the groundwork to be like, guys, don't worry if this is cancelled because we've got other games coming.
Right.
And guys, it's a single player experience, a brand new one. Whoa!
Right.
As well as another game that we're working on that you're really gonna love because you already love the kind of stuff.
Right.
Get excited for this thing over here. No, don't worry about over there.
Don't look behind the mirror. Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Look over there, guys. Look. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think this is never going to see the light of day. I think what they've done is put it down to a skeleton crew to eventually just go, yeah, this isn't really working out,
You think it's like a
guys.
reverse DICE move where they bring out the game, but it's, wrong altogether. Then they basically build the next game and don't release it. You think it's the opposite where they're like, yeah, just stop.
Just stop. I think what they're doing is what EA was planning to do with DICE, where they put them down to a skeleton crew, hoping that they lose interest and just get disheartened and never make any progress, and won't cost them too much money. Except they didn't cost them much money, and they continued to work with all of their passion and made it still amazing.
Right.
These guys are going to be like, why are we
doing this?
You're just going to cancel it, aren't you? We can feel it. We can feel it in our bones. And then they're going to be like, okay, it's cancelled.
Yeah, it's cancelled. Right.
I think that's what's going to happen, unfortunately, which pisses me off because I had high hopes for this. And now I'm in the this is never going to come out sort of thing like that. And we're going to hear about it 5 years from now. We're going to hear about it like, man, we were working on that thing. It was quite good in some areas, but you know what? It just didn't come across.
Man, I swear to God, if it turns out the game was good and it was just like all that talk about it not being good, but actually what Sony meant was it's not up to our standards and it was actually just good, that would...
Some like inside themselves own like their voice just in their head just going, you're not good enough.
It would be like a reverse Nazi Zombies. So if you guys aren't familiar, back in the day, Call of Duty World at War, first Call of Duty to come out with Nazi Zombies, because, Nazi Zombies, that was a pet project. It was just one of the guys in the office made it and was having fun with it, and then they all ended up playing it, and then eventually they were like, we should put this in the game, and they just threw it in. It literally initially was just a pet project. That first map was just a pet project that one of the guys had fun with, then a few guys had fun with it, then they were like, we should put it in. And I feel like a little bit of me is kind of worried that this is the exact opposite, where it's like, it's a full project, and it's really good, but they're just not going to bring it out, That's not what I want.
No, I don't want that either.
More good games is more better for more gamers,
Gamers, by gamers, for the gamers.
When we're gaming the games.
I should have mentioned as well, by the time this episode comes out, that day there'll be the Xbox showcase.
Yeah.
With what's
exclusive
it called again?
world premiere.
With who's Starfield? They're going to be showing Starfield off on that one. That's going to be the main focus of the show.
Predictions for Starfield?
Go on, let's make Starfield predictions. Let's do it right here. Starfield predictions for the Xbox showcase. Go!
I'm going to call it now. Graphically, it looks really good. They run it on a beast thing. It is not run on an Xbox.
Right.
It'll say, running on a computer.
Aaron Greenberg tried to throw shade at PlayStation, which is hilarious because they're the original dumbasses in all this. He tried to throw shade saying, all of the games that are going to be shown nothing are going to be actual gameplay. And people were like, oh, that's fantastic. And then a couple of people who are more than 2 IQ were like, but is it running on an Xbox?
Right.
Or is it going to be PC?
$10,000 gaming rig?
We know your old tricks. We know your old tricks. Suspiciously silent after that.
It's running on a rig.
Right.
2, it is not do you remember What was that game they just played live for a bit on stage at one of the? I think it was a Sony Expo.
They played a couple. I mean, they played God of War. They played Uncharted. Yeah.
So like, you know how they're like, here it is, and they actually just played it.
Okay. Oh,
That's not going to happen.
Oh, you think that's not... Okay, all right. I thought you was going to say, all right.
That's
okay.
not going to happen. I'm going to go one step further and guess, and maybe it leaks later, like 10 years from now. But the footage they showed was probably a fifth attempt to get it where like there were no frame rate drops and stuff, right? It's going to be very much on rails, and will probably still include like a cutscene or a rendered cutscene, in-game cutscene. The Xbox will say, see, look, it's perfect, it's the best thing ever. And anyone paying attention will realize there was no substance. But not many people are going to be paying attention, and it will just be a Fallout, but without the Fallout background. You know, it'd be reskinned Fallout, essentially. And then everybody's going to say, look, it looks amazing, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm really excited for it. I'm going to go one step further. It's going to release. Xbox is going to play it for 2 weeks. They're going to go real quiet. And Starfield was never going to be that big anyway. That's my prediction. I think you'll be able to see the first sign of it if you look with this gameplay. What's your feeling on it? I want to be wrong about it, by the way. I want Starfield to just be the best thing ever, but it's not going to be.
I think it's going to have some good-looking areas. Some.
Yeah.
It might be like the space parts. It might be like the transition bit looks kind of cool. Maybe there'll be like a cool table where you're like picking up items or whatever. But I think it will still have just these fuzzy areas where you're like, why the hell is the lighting like that? Like, why are their eyeballs reflecting so vibrantly or something like that? It looks uncanny. Stuff like that.
The background looks beautiful, but then if you look at anything in the foreground that's being actively rendered, it's going to be
like,
that.
The shadows are going to look strange. Something like that.
Did you ever have that glitch in Hogwarts Legacy, in that first area where you're learning about like the reflections with you know, when you get chased by the dragon?
Yeah.
Did you, there's an area that's just dark and you have to use Lumos?
Yeah.
Did your Brer have his hair just go full white?
No.
Mine did that. And it was like so off-putting.
I guess the light reflects on the hair, but doesn't stop
it was
to
terrible.
go through
The hair looked awful the whole way I played that game. It was just terrible. Sorry, please continue.
I think it's going to be something like that. And I think it's going to be a lot of people sort of like coping and going like, oh, yeah, it looks good.
It's going to be a lot of copium going on. Yeah.
But it's not going to be too fantastic. But the thing that's going to get me the most, this is going to get me personally the most, I think the story's going to look okay. I think it's going to look quite intriguing, and I think people are going to get excited for that. And I think it's going to be a well cut trailer, right? It's not. It's going to have some gameplay in there and stuff like that. Again, probably on a rig or something. But I think it's going to be a well cut trailer, well cut gameplay to the point where it kind of looks interesting and whatnot. The parts where they actually show gameplay will look like slow and dead, and I don't think that'll be any good. Personally, it's me. But I think it will look interesting. However, I think the actual gameplay playing of it is going to feel dated. I think it's going to feel dated.
Fallout. It's going to be Fallout.
Exactly. Especially the no-voice protagonist. I know you idiots think that...
You're so wrong about that.
People are like...
This is not an opinion thing. You're just wrong.
A voiced character in a Bethesda game. You don't know anything. It's like...
Because then you read it in your voice and you're the protagonist, but you don't get to pick any of the dialogue. There are 3 pre-rendered things you get to choose. Just
because it was done badly by Bethesda before, it doesn't mean that it should never be done ever in any video game ever again, okay? It just means that they did a poor job, then you just need to do a better job of it. Anyway, I think it's going to feel unimmersive when those sort of things happen. The biggest thing, though, that I think is going to be the big conversation, and partially it's going to be stupid, but also it's like, this is supposed to be a fully next-gen game. I think it's still going to be 30 FPS. And
it will be, for sure.
It's going to bug a lot of people, especially when it comes to the gunplay stuff, where it's going to feel like the old Destiny. Oh my god, the old Destiny. Looking back at it now, I can't stand it. I'm like, how did we play an FPS in 30 FPS?
Yeah.
How? And it's going to be bad. As I said, though, however, there are going to be some bits that are going to be interesting. They'll put the music right. They'll cut the trailer nicely.
The story will look intriguing there.
And then it'll get to the gameplay, and it'll be like, so you're walking for 5 minutes, and then you go into a facility, and you shoot 2 people, and it's really janky and stuff like that. you don't talk, and it's just these lines that you just get to pick from one of three, and it's not your line. So how immersive is that? I think it's going to be like that.
Can I get a future prediction of yours? So the game comes out, if it ever
Yes.
comes out. You said you think that it's going to make the story look intriguing. How good do you think the story is going to be? Because I'll tell you this. Fallout 3 was pretty good.
Yeah.
New Vegas went hard. That game was really good. Like, really good. Fallout 4 was okay. I mean, it was okay. How do you think the story is in this?
I get the sense, just from that first trailer that we've seen, I get the sense that it's going to be pretty good. Like, if someone was to do a YouTube video of talking about it, or if they were to
Explaining.
cut up all the cutscenes or something like that, or the relevant dialogue parts and things
Yeah.
like that, I think it'll make for a pretty good, like, YouTube video. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like an 8 out of 10. But it's just the surrounding stuff that's just going to drag it down to
Yeah.
like a 6. I just can't. I don't know, it's gonna be, but the story, I think, is going to be quite decent. Because there's a lot of like imagination in space.
Yeah.
And I can see just from the stuff they've built that it looks quite imaginative. And they've made these like factions, these groups. I'm like, oh, all right, this is pretty awesome right here.
You've played Fallout before, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool.
So I'm looking forward to that part. I'm looking forward to that part. Yeah. All right.
That's high praise. That's way higher than I would have put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the story is going to be every bit as good as the rest of the game. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's my guess.
Well, let's see. Let's see. A couple of days now, 2 days, and we'll be able to
Again,
see it.
to be genuinely upfront, I would love to be wrong. If it comes out and it's like it's just the sci-fi Skyrim, everybody loves it. It's just like amazing. The story's incredible. We were totally wrong about the no voice protagonist. All of that. Win.
Hell
That's
yeah.
just a win. That's a win for everybody. It's a win.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong about it. Also, because Xbox desperately needs the win. Now, the Xbox,
do.
if it is a win, will be insufferable.
Insufferable. Because they'll be like, no, this isn't just a win. This is the greatest game of all time because
Yeah.
it's on Xbox.
You wish you had this. You don't have anything like it. You can keep God of War.
I'll have to be back in the comment sections and fishing.
This game deserves to be on PS5.
Guys, do you know what? This game is good. It really should be on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But you guys could suck on... You can't
Give us God of War. No, but that doesn't make sense. Giving you God of War doesn't make sense.
It's just so easy.
Yeah, they're so easy. But so basically, it's a lose-lose. Either we get a really good game and then have to suffer the Xbox, or we get a really bad game and then like, no one wants bad games. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, do you like those kind of games though? Like in general, the Skyrim, Fallout style of doing a game. They have a very similar feel. They feel like, for example, the Demon Souls and Elden Rings and stuff. They have that clunky type of feel, but people still love that
Yeah.
kind of game. Do you like those Fallout type games?
Unfortunately, no. That's I think part of the problem for me personally as well is that they're not my full cup of tea.
Yeah,
I prefer my story to be a bit more theatrical and a bit more like played out.
immersive. Yeah,
That's why I think some of those parts are going to be quite cool. There are going to be some cool bits, but then it's just going to feel. This is the part of the problem why I didn't vibe 100% with Cyberpunk.
yeah.
When you're in first person, and everyone had this vibe as well with like how immersive it is and stuff
Yeah.
like that. When you're in first person, it does take just a little bit out of it. It takes a little bit of the humanity
It's less
out of it.
cinematic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're like this, and it's like I don't feel like I'm a human being. I feel like I'm a robot just
Yeah.
going around like that.
I feel that.
This is kind of what it's going to feel like to me. It's like you're going around, you're like, oh my god, all these places, and then it's just like
Deadpan. Yeah, exactly.
there's a disconnect there for me. Now, again, there are there's the irony of it, and this is why I don't accept their argument.
Yeah.
It's that there are people that are like, a voice protagonist is awful, and
No,
then
I
they
can't-
go and
I
be
can't
like,
disagree
Horizon
more.
Forbidden West is amazing. It's
yeah.
like that's what?
The thing is as well, and here's my beef with not having a voice protagonist.
Yeah.
Right, one of my beefs is, first of all, if I wanted to read, I'd read a book.
Yeah.
I want to play a video game. I want to be immersed in a thing. And secondly, when I read dialogue lines, first of all, I mostly skip a bunch of it. I just say, what's this one going for? Or do I want to do the Paragon or Renegade or whatever? And often skip it and wait for a shepherd to speak it. If no one speaks it, I skim it and get the gist of it. Or I read it like this. So, Dorothy, in my head. So, Dorothy, do you want to do this transaction?
Yeah.
And instead, if it's like you intimidating, it's supposed to be the protagonist intimidating them, you can get a Geralt voice actor type going, so Dorothy, do you want to do this? Whatever. I'm not an actor, right? I'm not going to do that. But all of that's lost in my head.
And even when I'm trying to read it out loud, I'm just like, so Dorothy, no, it's not.
Right.
No, oh, I guess I'll pick this one. Again, it's all lost.
Right.
It's all lost.
Exactly. So, couldn't disagree more.
Yeah.
Couldn't disagree more. Look, I really hope it's good, though.
Yeah.
And I will say, and in fairness to us at least, just because I don't like a game doesn't make it not good.
Yeah.
I said that about Sifu. I said that I hated Elden Ring. And Sifu.
And you were proven right.
Exactly. They both suck. But like both those games, I hated my time playing it, and I put a good amount of time onto both of them.
Yeah.
But they're excellent games. I just didn't vibe with them. I really think there's an incredible story in Elden Ring, and I'm really sad I didn't get to access it. But it's not for me. But it is a good game. But it's not for me. And
You're fair. You're fair.
I think what's going to happen is Skyrim's just going to suck.
Yeah.
Not Skyrim. It's the other thing. That's the one.
I know what you meant.
Same thing. As we all know, Skyrim and Morrowind in particular,
They
suck.
suck.
Yeah.
Awful.
So bad.
And anyone who likes them, listen.
Just the worst kind of person. Right. Yeah. Agreed.
Person.
Agreed.
All right. That's our prediction. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think as well, and feel free to tweet. In fact, if you're going to be there later on, if you're watching this the moment that this podcast comes out, later on that day is when
It'll be this evening for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you should be able to check that out as well, and you can tell us there.
Well, actually, in fairness, it'll be this evening for the unwashed masses, the peasants watching it for free on YouTube. But if you don't want to be like one of these peasants, freeloaders, how can you change the trajectory of your life?
You can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations, where you can kick us $5 a month, just $5 a month, where you can help keep the lights and mics on and get this podcast the day it's recorded to your eyeballs and to your ears if you're an audio virgin.
Forgot about that.
And you get other exclusive benefits, like you get to go join our Discord, you get a certain flair, you get behind the scenes clips of like random conversations that we have about bananas and inserting peanut butter into them.
That was a weird way to start the podcast.
It was.
Or our recording session, I should say.
It made me feel funny down there, I'm not going to lie.
Funny, haha, or like this fish smells funny.
Yeah, this fish smells funny. You can get stuff like that, and you have the warm feeling inside your underpants that you helped us out and stuff
and
like
that banana thing.
Exactly. And you also get your name called out as a true gamer, which is what you are right now. Just like Adam the High Quality Potato, Gams Master, Sheps is Crusty Right Nut, Isak Manny, Mikey T, Sab2557, Fishy, Cobra SS, Dagenham Dan, Adam Sunling, Max H, and Super Whale Ben. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going.
Gaming. I really hope Fishy, Ethan, I hope he puts this down as a marketing expense. He should do.
He should do, yeah. Speaks to his guys that this is a business expense right here.
It's marketing.
Advertising right now.
Yeah. That goes out to twos of people every week.
Just want to put out a quick thing while we're at the sort of near the beginning of the episode. If you guys are heading to London, if you guys are going to be in London and you guys are going to EGX this year, we always talk about going to EGX. It's a gaming event in London in the XL Exhibition Centre. If you guys are planning to go, tickets are on sale right now for them. We're going to be going on Saturday and possibly Sunday. I think I'll be going Sunday, but Sheps, if you're going to come as well.
What dates is it? Does it say?
Have a look at EGX London. It's in October, I know that. I think it's the 12th to the 15th. If you guys are planning to come, tickets are on sale right now. And up until the 22nd of June, there's 20% off if you buy them early. So if you fancy doing that, go ahead. They're actually surprisingly cheap compared to other
They
other
are.
conventions. Other conventions like Star Wars Celebrations like £60, £70, £80. For EGX it's like £20. Very
And
good.
It's a bit more involved, like involving. There's
Yeah.
stuff to do. Like as long as there are things there that you want to see, like yeah, there are cool vendors and stuff, but you can go and often there's stuff to experience and play. You get your hands on the game and demos and
Exactly.
Yeah.
No hate to the other ones, but there are just basically a lot of shops there.
yeah.
Whereas this one, there's a lot of game stores. You get to play a lot of indie games. You get to play some big games. There's usually like some competitions going on, and they've got the stores as well. So it's all a mixture of all the good stuff that you like there. And we're going to be there as well.
That's it. To ruin your day.
Ruin your day.
Also,
we usually hang out with
budget
people and eat
budget
food and
probably
stuff
like
that.
£15 for the food. It's expensive in it. The
Yeah, it
XL
does
Centre.
get expensive in there, man. Those chips that we bought for £4.
Oh my days!
Pissed
That was the
me the
most
fuck off.
disappointing chips. And
I was this close to running back there and just going, do you know what? You can fuck yourself.
yeah,
I'm sorry, you've got this entire container and you've just made it at the bottom like that. Anyway.
yeah, I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. If you guys are going to be there, let us know. Isak, I think, messaged me somewhere, said, well, what day... Let me just actually have a look because I don't want to get his message wrong. Mentions, Isak... Oh, no, he sent me a private message. He said, some more questions. Which tickets do you recommend grabbing if I'll just be there for the day and if I was there for the weekend? The thing is, if you're going to go there for a day, it's better to go for the early bird
Yeah,
single day one, and I'd say pick Saturday. That's the best one in my opinion.
yeah, I think you're right.
Unless of course you have a Sunday as well off, because then it'll be a little bit less busy as well. The Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's less busy, but also if you're going there to buy stuff,
Yeah.
like, and I'm not saying you should be, I'm just saying if you're going there, if you're one of those people that wants to buy art or try out some of the weird, crazy food
Yeah.
or whatever, the stock's usually depleted a bit,
Yeah.
right? Which can be a benefit because you can get £15 worth of donuts,
Yeah.
which is 2 donuts, for like a £5 instead.
Yeah.
But then they're a bit stale, or like the artist might have run out of the prints that you want and stuff like that. So, you know, the swings and roundabouts.
It's a bit of a balancing act.
Yeah.
If you're going to go there for the weekend, again, it's like £20 for a ticket. If you're going to go there for 2 days, it's still better to get the 2 separate day tickets and stuff like that. I think the weekend ticket is like
Yeah.
£60. So it's like, okay, you get 4 days worth of tickets there, but then you're paying 4 days worth.
It's,
so
it's also
like,
weird, like, we used to go as press. We used to apply for press
Yeah.
passes, and we haven't been pressed the last 2 times, I think.
One time.
One time.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed a difference.
There's not a difference. There's only a difference if you're going to go up to a vendor and then they notice that you're pressed, that they maybe try to do something.
Yeah.
Like the time that we went to that Peaky Blinders VR thing.
Oh,
or what they were.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, we're going to try and
the one that
accommodate you.
fricked us over all day.
But then we didn't get to play it. I was
Yeah.
like, that's just a bad marketing for
they,
you. I
they,
don't
they
know what
were
you're
that
doing.
was really poorly handled.
But there's a chance, a slim chance, because I've applied for us to have a panel, that we might be able to do a live True Gamer podcast there.
How much time do we get on a panel though?
I don't know. Maybe we get like a 45-minute to an hour slot.
That'd be cool.
I mean, it's way less than we usually do, but
yeah.
but
There's
anyway,
no hope of us sticking to that time. No.
if we ever do, that'll be really cool, and that'll be another reason for you to come if you do want
Yeah,
to.
that would be cool.
And we'll be having fancy exhibitioner badges instead of press. It'll be a
That
lot
would be
more.
cool. That would be cool.
But we'll see. That's just it's no guarantees. I've applied, but there's no guarantee
Yeah.
they'll allow
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
you guys can see that. Anyway, that's what you guys should do if you wanna check us
Yeah,
out.
buddy.
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
Let's kick it over now to the Summer Games Fest wrap up. I watched it with a bunch of our gamer friends.
I got the notification.
You got the notification that it went live. But that's cool because I'm going to run through everything that was announced, rattle through some of the stuff that's not really that important or
Yeah.
anything that really interests us, and talk in detail about the stuff that's really cool. Okay, Jeff Keighley, I think, put on a decent show.
It was good this year.
It was decent.
Okay.
It was decent. It was, don't get me wrong, it had some ads in there.
Fair
and
enough. Fair enough.
It has to pay the bill somehow. He had some like PC games in there that not many people are really interested in, other than like geeks and nerds and people
Okay.
don't want to talk about. But I tell you what, they strategically placed them. Spider-Man was shown off in this
Okay.
thing, and they strategically placed all of that after Spider-Man It's almost like they knew that no one's going to be paying attention for a good while, for at least 10, 20 minutes, because Spider-Man was just announced. We have to get all the information. Oh my god, I have to go to Twitter. I have to go do this. Because me and the chat, we were just like, I'm just looking at Spider-Man right now. I'm not interested in anything else. And it showed all these other things, and I was like, looking up every now and again. I was like, it's a PC RTS. I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah, it's still going on.
Yeah.
Another one. I don't really care like that. And I was like, Jeff, if you plan that, good on you, sir. Good on you.
Worst thing possible is he didn't plan it and had no idea that was coming, and he maybe thought everybody's attention's going to be here because they've just seen Spider-Man, and actually what happened is he released Forbidden West next to Elden Ring.
It's because
you know what I mean?
There's no way that those guys who have the other games knew that Spider-Man was going to be before them.
Right.
He's just going to be like, look, I've got a 5-minute slot if you want it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, £10,000. Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Right after Spider-Man. No one pays any attention. Oh, worst money ever spent.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them now, actually.
You know, the thing is, that sort of stuff is tough, isn't it? Like, if you have no say in it, maybe if it's a case of like, do you want the 10k slot or the 20k slot? And the 20k slot goes just in front of Spider-Man. You know, how crazy is that?
So crazy, right? So crazy. Okay. I'd like to think that Jeff was a nice guy, but like, look, there's a big game coming before this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do you a nice discount.
Yeah, the reason the slot's so cheap...
Just 50k.
Yeah, the reason the slot's so cheap is because there's going to be a big one before it. Now, it might need more attention.
Up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. What do you think? Yeah.
Okay, let's go through the games list, okay?
Yeah.
So, it opens up with Prince of Persia, a remake of the 2.5D platformer from before. I'm not really a big fan of Prince of Persia. It looked alright. It's a Ubisoft game. If you want to play a Ubisoft game, go ahead. January 18th. Not really interested about that.
Yeah.
Then we got an extended gameplay trailer with full-on gameplay, I should say, of Mortal Kombat 1 with all of those fucking brutal fatalities. They looked so good. The game looked great. It looked fucking fantastic. Amazing.
I'm gonna say it. I grew up with Mortal Kombat on the N64.
Yeah.
And Tekken on the PS1, but like, something about Mortal Kombat really just speaks to you, doesn't it? It's just,
it makes. I just keep thinking of the first movie. That's what I keep thinking of.
Also, if you haven't seen that first Mortal Kombat movie, you've got to watch it. It's the best, worst movie you'll ever see.
Yes.
It's just, they had no idea what they were making. Like, the whole way through, you can tell they don't know what they're doing. Like, and I'm not saying they don't know what Mortal Kombat is. I'm sure they played it all the time on the set.
Yeah.
They just don't know what movie they're making.
They were like, I guess they're fighting.
It's a kung fu movie, like Jackie Chan and stuff. Like, okay, cool. Also, it's a video game movie.
Yeah.
Also, it's like a softcore porno with what's her face?
Sonya.
Yeah. But then we're gonna cut all of that out. And then also, there's like some magic in it.
Yeah.
And then also, it's like, wait, what? Which of these 5 movies are you gonna?
And every now and again, there's gonna be a guy that sounds like he's really far away, but he's shouting, and he's like, "Oh, come back!"
Right. Although the music's fantastic. So good.
Iconic, mate. Anyway, this was fucking fantastic. It's releasing September 19th. Everyone get hyped if you're looking for that.
Yeah, I'm keen. I'm not. But I've fallen out of love with those games.
Yeah, me too.
Mainly for 2 reasons. One, like, I remember playing those games socially.
Yeah.
Like, I played that game. I played Mortal Kombat even with my brother, like sitting there playing on the N64. Back at game shops where they were like, do you remember independent game shops? And they would usually have like it wasn't like an arcade style. It was an N64 set up on TVs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember playing. There was one in Barnet where I used to play that. What was that place called? It was really good fun, man.
Barnet Games.
What was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but I used to go there all the time. Like there were a bunch of those sorts of things. I don't think I'm playing that game. I'm not playing against the computer. I don't care to do that. And the nerds that play fighting games make other kind of nerds look like they're pussy destroying monsters. They're just chads. Like, those guys really take it seriously, and I do not feel like getting absolutely annihilated online,
And we would get annihilated.
Just destroyed.
Those combos, I don't get them. I'm still in the spamming phase.
Oh yeah, I'm a button basher the whole way.
The next game they showed up was Path of Exile. It got like a brief development update and like a gameplay trailer. Exo Primal is getting a crossover with Street Fighter 6. It was like Street Fighter characters that look like
Oh
sort of
yeah.
they look like cyborgs, but then they were in this game called Exo Primal where they're like fighting dinosaurs. It was very weird. Very
Yeah.
weird. Releasing June 14th, and then something really, actually kind of cool happened. It was. If I was to tell you, a celebrity came on stage and you started talking about video games,
Oh,
you'd be
Keanu.
Like, you'd be like, cringe,
Yeah.
cringe. It was Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And he's got a bit of charm to him, you know?
Nicolas Cage.
He's not bad. Like, he's made some stinker movies, but he's also made some charming movies.
I unironically love Con Air.
And I unironically love, unfortunately no one else is going to love this, the movie Next. He can see 2 minutes into the future, except for the one true love of his, who's Jessica Biel. And,
Oh yeah.
And
I've seen this.
it's quite cool. He basically takes down a terrorist who's trying to set off a nuclear bomb, and there's this one cool moment where he's like, the guy's got a gun to Jessica Biel's head, and he goes, point that at me. He starts walking towards him, and because he can see 2 minutes into the future, he dodges each one of the bullets.
Yeah.
But you get to see him do it through trial and error. So like, he gets shot, dies, so he goes a different way. Then he gets shot and then dies in the second. And then the second one, second way again, and he goes, "You made the wrong choice." And then he goes to shoot the girl, but he got no bullets in the gun. And
unironically as well, he has some good movies like Lord of War.
Yes,
That's
a,
that's
good
a
movie.
genuinely
I like that movie a lot.
genuinely good movie.
And a recent one he did, what was it, The Unburden of Amazing Talent or something like that?
Is that the one with not Javier,
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal,
Yes.
where he plays himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that's amazing, but I haven't seen it. I
it
really
either.
want to see that.
I want to see that too.
I really want to see that.
Anyway, he's gonna be a character in Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
He's got a few lines and he looks like him, obviously, and stuff like that. It's charming. It's nothing too big. It's just a character they've stuck in there, and I think it's quite cool. I think it's quite.
I'll say
I want to play Dead by Daylight.
I'm a little concerned to hear about like celebrities going into games. Unironically, and I absolutely love Keanu, but I suspect that he's a big reason that Cyberpunk failed. And I don't mean the story was going to be shit. Based on that story, whoever played Johnny Silverhand, it ultimately was going to feel somewhat, in my opinion, somewhat hollow. But I do suspect that even if he loved the project and took a seriously low salary for it, which I don't think he did, I think he just got a normal, whatever it costs, yeah. I bet that ate up a lot of budget. You know? And I also don't think that having Keanu in it gained any real additional pull.
I don't think it did. The thing is like if someone said to me, "Oh, Harrison Ford's going to be in a game," I'm looking for Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Indiana Jones. I'm looking for Han Solo. I'm not looking for. Can you play someone completely different and just be the voice? It's like, that's not what I'm
brand new
looking for.
guy, and also Johnny Silverhand's a douchebag.
Yeah.
He's not particularly charming. He's not particularly interesting. He's only interesting because he's a legend in Night City.
Yeah.
And you, if you weren't familiar with Cyberpunk, 'cause I played the tabletop game, so I liked Cyberpunk before, and I like Cyberpunk. I like Blade Runner and stuff. If you weren't familiar with Cyberpunk as the world, you only care about legends because Jackie becomes a legend, and you get to see like, man, that's actually like what happened. Cool. Well, there's some stuff here. Maybe these legends are cool. I'll find out more about them. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just, all I'm going to say is we have no idea. I can't remember. I'll tell you who played Adam Smasher. Great villain, except the boss fight sucks, but great villain.
Yeah, the boss fight was really bad.
Great
Underwhelming
antagonistic force in the game.
Scary as hell. Fucking
Terrifying.
Yeah.
No idea who plays it.
Yeah.
Doesn't diminish the game whatsoever, you know? So, yeah.
Anyway, if you're interested in Day by Daylight, which I kind of am, I'm thinking about maybe streaming it one day. It's a very like cooperative game and stuff like that. It's very fun. So, and it changes every single time, so it could be quite fun. July 25th is the new chapter when it's coming out with Nicolas Cage. The next thing, they showed a trailer for The Witcher Season 3 Volume 1. Obviously, the best part of that is Henry Cavill. He's still so sick, except for everything else does look very cheap. It sucks that he's going. There's really nothing left in the show now.
I think I'm out.
You're not even gonna watch this, yeah?
Nah.
I can understand that.
And
I'm like checked out emotionally. I'm just like,
that's the thing. I'm checked out emotionally. I feel like the last 2 seasons had some really cool bits in it, and I love The Witcher. I love the world. Read and apparently got wrong some of the books, and I love Henry Cavill. And I thought he was amazing as Geralt. And I had big problems. I think he's huge, and he somehow still fits. You know, still looks good, sounds good, acts right, and knows the source material, loves it. And Henry is saying this isn't right. And so I'm immediately turned off because I know a guy who is advocating for a good product doesn't like what he's done. And I can already see that they've done a lot of things I don't like and don't agree with in the show throughout. Like,
it's very hard to be excited for it. Isn't
yeah, and then they're recasting him, which is
with the lesser Hemsworth.
which is, you know, tough, and maybe he'll be great as well.
I feel bad
like,
for him.
Yeah, like he's really trying to pick up Thor's hammer here. But the other thing is, like, didn't we hear that they're trying to make more of either this season or the next season focus on like Ciri and Yen, which that's what I heard. I don't remember where I heard that from. Let's presume that that's true because I don't think I would lie to you about that. Don't think I made that up.
Why are you lying?
Like,
it's a bit an odd thing to lie about.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident I heard it, but I can't remember where or when. Yen and Ciri are only interesting to me in general because of Geralt.
Yeah.
Right? Because you get to see how deeply in love Geralt is, that a guy who's had his emotions burned out of him still feels these things. One of my most heartfelt scenes in all of gaming is Geralt finally reuniting with Ciri in the hut in The Witcher 3. That moment I thought was going to rip my heart out, you know? And he's silent. So I care about their relationships, not individual characters per se. The only individual character I care about
Ciri is a very interesting character.
She's a really cool character.
And there's very cool things that happens to her because of her nature of just being so unique.
It would have been amazing to see her in Cyberpunk.
But it is the relationship they have between Geralt and her that is the main bond that we have, the main hook that we have. Without that, it's very hollow and very basic.
And I think Ciri or Yen are interesting enough to be protagonists in their own adventures or whatever. That just isn't what we have yet.
Yeah.
And they would have been better off doing that with no Witcher at all. And you'd be like, hey, look, here's this little girl who turns out she's connected to, you know, the ancient bloodline and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's main character stuff all the way. Ciri's a main character, but she isn't the main character. Geralt is. And so I'm only interested in Ciri in as much as she relates to Geralt.
But bro, don't worry about it. They changed Triss's hair to ginger, so it's okay.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's fine.
That's
now.
true.
That's fixed the whole movie. It fixed everything.
Also, I gotta be honest, Triss bugs me visually. Yeah. Like, she's supposed to be, and this is really superficial, and I hate that I'm doing it. But the point of the changes that those witches go through is to make them gorgeous because it's a weapon.
Yeah.
Being that pretty, so Yen looks right.
Right.
She's first of all, they specifically take deformed, ugly people, and apparently that might be because they're magical. It's one of the reasons they're deformed.
Okay.
But also, it's like you don't want to go against the order because they might put you back. And once you get from, like, you know, Hunchback of Notre Dame to like Prince Charming, you don't want to go back to Hunchback of Notre Dame. Part of the way that they control these people, but also looking that good is its own sort of persuasion weapon. And
it's like the thing you mentioned from Mass Effect. What's that woman that was made?
Oh, Miranda Lawson. Yeah,
Miranda, she was like
she's specifically
made. Exactly, she's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, exactly, to infiltrate things. And
why not make them that hot?
Right.
Because that's an added weapon to the arsenal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but the casting, in terms of like traditional beauty or whatever, is not equal for Triss and Yen. And then it makes you think, well, Geralt's pulling Yen. In the games, at least, in the book, I think as well, he ends up with Triss at some point. Like, I feel like we're not on this in the same league.
Petition to recast Triss with.
The worst thing is she's actually a really good actress. That's also worse. If she'd really flubbed the role, I would.
She's good.
She was great, but she just doesn't look right.
But as we know, looks are more important, and we should recast her with Lizzo because that promotes body positivity.
My guy, finally speaking my language. As long as she wears the afro.
Done.
Does Lizzo have that kind of hair? I actually don't.
think she has
I
big
only
hair.
know of Lizzo from this. And I've seen that she plays the flute.
Yeah.
But I
Apparently she's
actually
really sick at that.
Yeah. But I have no idea about her other than she plays the flute, and that's about it.
What's really interesting... we're going off topic here. Here we go. All right. The next game that was shown off. Witchfire. It looked pretty decent. It was like Magic plus Red Dead Redemption 2. And it was like set in like a dark underworld type thing. It was kind of cool. It'll be really cool if anyone wants to check that out. It's not my cup of tea per se, but it looked okay. Releasing early access is September 20th. Crossfire Sierra Squad. So this is a PlayStation VR 2 game.
Yeah.
It's essentially like SWAT team, Call of Duty in VR. It looks pretty awesome. I'm going to definitely check that out. It does feature co-op gameplay as well, and it's releasing in August, so that's pretty cool. Remnant 2 got a new trailer. Not pretty interesting to me, but July 25th for anyone who's interested in that. And then, this was funny. Sonic Superstars has been announced.
Okay.
What's really funny is that it was like, guys, be excited for Sonic because we've gone away from the fucking open world nonsense that was terrible and we're back to 2.5D, guys. Everyone get excited.
At least they see, and in fairness to all things Sonic, you make enough of a stink and they change.
Yeah.
Right? So fair play.
Yeah.
But it's a game too late.
It's a game too late. I have to give them props because they did that for the movie, like you was trying to say there, and they did it for the game. So at least they listen to the fans. At least they listen. The next game, Lies of P. We got another trailer for it. Again, looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And there's a demo for it available right now. It was available right then at the show. I've downloaded
That's
it.
how you do demos.
Right.
And look under your seats.
Right
Free
there.
demo for all of you, yeah.
And apparently it's quite sizable as well, the demo. A couple of guys were telling me they've been playing it all night and they still haven't finished it. And mate, I can't wait
Maybe
to try
it's just
it out.
because it's that hard, isn't it?
It is like a Soulsborne type game, so be on the lookout for that. I think that's really cool. It's releasing September 19th, which is 2 weeks after Starfield, and the demo's out today, as I said. The next game, there was Sandland, which was... It was a game made by a guy who made one of the Dragon Ball Z games. It looks like Dragon Ball Z, except it's not Dragon Ball Z. It's not like fighting guys. It's just like he's in a desert area and he's shooting other tanks and stuff.
Yeah, this looks straight out of Dragon Ball Z.
It's just it's not really that. It's not really.
Is it in the same universe? I mean, this looks like Akira Toriyama all day long.
It's apparently based on a manga. And
that's why I recognize it.
And it is by Akira Toriyama, like you said. So it's obviously got his influence in it and stuff like that. Is that a he, by the way? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Not my kind of game, and not any kind of game for anyone who likes actual video games. So here we go. The next thing that was announced was Annapurna's own showcase, which is going to be on June 29th. They make good games, so check that out. The next game, Throne of Liberty, was shown off. It was a new gameplay and a new tech test announcement. Party Animals, which is... I think it's a game that I've seen before, but maybe I'm mistaken. It says it's releasing on the 20th of September. Dying Light 2 is getting an update, although the guy was speaking very quickly, and I don't think many people actually got what was being said.
Oh.
So, I wonder. Crash Bandicoot Rumble...
Yeah, buddy!
was shown off. I was like, Crash Bandicoot, Sheps will like that. It's not classic Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah.
but it's a Rumble game.
Yeah.
It looked fairly interesting. Interesting for that. June 20th, so it's coming out very soon.
Yeah.
And then we got another new trailer, not that much more to be honest, of Alan Wake 2. The most important thing is that we got Sam Lake to come out on stage and he was talking about it. He seemed quite interesting.
Yeah.
He seemed quite excited about it. It looked fantastic. The gameplay was like raw gameplay from a console. It was fantastic. I'm very excited for this game. I'm very intrigued. Alpha dehydrated himself live on stream.
I knew he would.
He creamed many times in the chat. It was very.
I also noticed that under in our Discord, which you can join with the link below, under the video where it pops up where you were watching it, he'd written Alan and then a flashlight. And I was just like, fair play, Alpha, fair play. I gotta be honest, actually, very quickly about Alpha. I do genuinely admire how much of a fair shake he gives these very. Alan Wake's not niche, but he plays a lot of very niche games. Gives them a real good, go.
Like Star Trek and
Yeah.
and DC. If they're a really small game,
Yeah,
he'll still give it a try.
yeah.
Whereas sometimes I won't just go near anything. I'm just like, look, it's not worth my time. I know it's not worth my time.
For the most part, we're sort of like AAA or go away.
Yeah.
I think for me, the most
It's
recent
limited time.
Stray was the most recent game that
Yeah.
wasn't like that. But then,
It's limited time. We don't have time to be losing
Yeah.
to games that don't fully capture us.
and that for the record does not say Alpha has a lot of time. It's to say that he doesn't have a family and
Or anyone who loves him.
right, exactly, friends or a PlayStation. Like if he had a PlayStation, he wouldn't be playing these shitty
True.
games, would he? He'd be playing real good, proper games.
And it'd be proof that people like him. Like he has a likable personality.
Right, because he has a PlayStation.
Exactly.
Even a PS4, I think, would be close enough.
Would be fine.
Could play most of those games on the PS4.
But he doesn't, so.
Mate, have you seen God of War Ragnarok on a PS4? I haven't actually seen it.
No.
I'm scared, but I also kind of want to see if my day of release PS4 would run it.
Give it a shot just for the shits and
Should
gigs,
I?
right? Yeah.
It will burn my flat down, I think.
There was a fire in Barnet.
Yeah, right, like, what the fuck?
bro.
Oh, God, no!
My co-host. Well, it doesn't matter because with the next game, Warhammer Space Marine. Sorry, did you finish, by the way?
Yeah, I want to hear about this because I actually haven't watched any of the Summer Games Fest. I just assumed it was going to be like the others and I'd be bored.
It was not too bad. Warhammer Space Marine 2 got a brand new gameplay trailer, announcing that co-op mode is available in it, up to 3 players,
Gaming?
releasing this winter. And it looked fucking fantastic. It looked gorgeous. It looked fun. It looked very, in the theme of everything that I've heard about Warhammer. And the reason why I say it's good news if you die is that I'm now making friends with Henry Cavill. I've messaged him on
it's
Twitter,
true.
Instagram. I'm saying
In
if he
fairness,
wants
you've
to join,
spoken to a hashtag on Twitter.
on Twitter because he doesn't have that. But then I posted that onto Instagram and I was like, "Don't worry, I got him."
I'm just going to quickly
If
talk it to him. I'm going
No
to be
problem.
watching this as you go. Yeah.
if Henry Cavill, look, if you're listening to this,
Obviously
if
he's
you're listening
listening
to
to
this
this, come on.
podcast, because I know you're a big fan of podcasts, especially the True Gamer one. If you're interested to join me and Sheps, or if you want just me, it doesn't have to be with Sheps if you don't like him, he's a Batman fan and everything like that. If you want to join us to play some co-op Warhammer 40k Space Marines
You'd
2,
actually drive him up the fucking wall.
I'm
if
sorry.
you trying to talk about Warhammer and you would get it all wrong and you would drive him insane.
Is this the Emperor? Is this the Emperor? Is this the Emperor?
So when do we get this the Emperor's flashlight?
Where we Henry Cavill, you're an amazing human being, and I'd love to play video games with you. Okay, we will have to play on PlayStation, just so you know. Just so you know, you'll have to play it on PlayStation, and I know your hands don't really work that well, on the controller and stuff like that. But
I mean, we could play it on PC for Henry.
I love it because we would fucking play it on PC. For Henry Cavill, Henry Cavill's like, so guys, I do actually want to play, but it has to be on PC. I'm sorry, no.
Nah, sorry, mate.
I can't.
Oh, you came close, but it's like, guys, we have to let you know we're no longer fans of DC. We don't like these movies.
Superman is no longer my favorite
You
character.
never meet your heroes, okay, guys? Because sometimes turns out they're filthy PC gamers.
No way in hell would that happen, right? Anyway, it does actually look really cool.
I'm watching it now. Yeah.
I need to watch some YouTube videos to get caught up on some lore and stuff like
I'll say,
that.
you'll let me guide you with that. There is a lot of lore.
Yeah, please do.
What I'll say is I'm glad that they went the way they went because basically they're playing. This is somewhat similar. It's effectively Starship Troopers, right? So the Tyranids, that's these alien things,
Right.
are the Arachnids. Same basic gist. You know everything already about the Tyranids, basically.
Right.
Just think Starship Troopers. What you don't know is about the Empire and stuff. So let me get you sort of caught up on that.
I'm
with
looking forward
some
to
video
it.
stuff.
I'm looking forward to it.
Shit. The problem is that every nerd, I'm trying to think what you actually need to know, because the world expanded massively, but also went back historically. So
Okay.
40k is now, right?
Yeah.
But everything that sets up 40k happens 10,000 years prior in 30k.
Oh, so hold on. So 40k is the reference to the year.
Yeah, it's Warhammer 40,000 AD.
Okay.
Right. So you're currently it would be Warhammer 2000, right?
I don't know.
Right. Effectively, right? So 10,000 years ago, all the stuff that causes the world, the universe to be the way it is now, kicks off.
Happens then.
Right. And I'm trying to think if you don't really need to know any of that because the world existed before they started really expanding on that you were told of these things like the heresy and stuff. Heresy. But it's also really cool, and I'm trying to like rein in my nerdism to get you to all you need to know to
I have a suspicion that what is going to happen, you're going to give me that first like little like 5-6 hour
it's
video,
really cool.
and then I'm going to be like, I need more injected into my eyes.
I sent you a fan-made CG movie.
Yeah.
This guy, I want you to watch it just because I want you to see how motivated this one person was by the lore of by just the story. There's an incredibly, by the way, the Games Workshop, they hired him afterwards.
Nice.
Which is very cool. And it's like all of the clips he made rendered them out as like 30-second clips, but they went chronologically. So a guy cut them all together. You don't need to know anything about what's going on. And also, it's nothing canonical. It's not like that's a known enemy that you would understand. I just want you to see how passionate this one guy was that he just did this in his spare time. I'll send that to you. Nothing to do with like 40k itself per se.
But it's just how much passion comes through with people who are already into
like
it.
Very rarely you don't see that same sort of stuff with Spider-Man. Like you see people drawing their own like fan comics and stuff, but that's relatively easy to do if you have any drawing talent. To render out this looks like it could be a CG movie that you'd go and watch. Nice. I'll send you that just for funsies.
Cool.
The world and the lore is amazing. I would love for you to get nerdy about this. We could talk about this for literally days. So, sorry, I already nerded out about just getting you into it.
I'm excited, don't worry.
It does look good. I guess my question would be this. You know it's saying co-op?
Yes.
So does that mean there's no PvP, like a Gears of War type thing? It is just sort of level grinding with your mates?
This was pitched as a co-op trailer. So it seemed like there was a trailer before that showed single-player gameplay.
Ooh.
And then this was co-op gameplay.
The collector's edition.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
How much does that cost?
Yeah. Oh, mate, don't worry. You're gonna need to save up a bit of money because there's many collector's editions you need to think about. The next game. Actually, find out the price first of all because I might be into this.
That can't be right. There's no way it's only that. Hold on.
Is it cheap?
It's like less than 300 quid.
Less than 300 quid.
Yeah, it was like 220. That can't be right. There's no way that's right.
That's pretty expensive. But
for like that full bust.
But how big is it? It's not that big, right?
I don't know. We'll have
Hold
to
on.
see.
What did you type in?
I'm just having.
Show me what it is because the one that I saw was he's holding out some sort of like alien creature in his hand.
But it's like an actual. It's the model. It's that.
Yeah.
Actual thing. Yeah.
It's not going to be too big though. I mean, they keep that in mind. I mean,
it's pretty badass. That's a gene stealer, by the way. If you were.
I will know about them very soon. Very soon. Yeah, 229.
I mean, yeah, but it looks sick. I'm sorry.
It does look pretty cool.
I want to see how big it is, though.
Doesn't it say it on the?
The helmet's removable. Oh.
Let me quickly have a look. Product details. It is a 21 by 17.5 centimeter, 1.2 kilograms. So 17.5 centimeter isn't that tall. It's about like half a ruler, a bit more than half a ruler.
I mean, I sort of thought it would be probably about half the size of that mammoth thing.
I think it's about. So I think this is about a ruler, something like that. So I'd say it's going to be about there.
That look. Yeah, that's fine.
It does look quite cool.
It does look cool. Just the only thing is if I buy it and the game sucks, because the Warhammer games have not been like I've enjoyed them a lot, but they haven't been like. There's a reason that it's still a niche hobby, you know.
It's a 6.7 inches. That's what it works out to. It's average.
Nice.
It's average.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or I think. Oh god, the helmet is removable. Oh.
Let's get back to the showcase. Otherwise, this will be a 4-hour podcast. Baldur's Gate 3 was given a brand new character voiced. Not too interested myself in Baldur's Gate 3, but it's also releasing August 31st. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big news: Spider-Man 2 was there. It got its box art officially revealed.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic. The best Spider-Man box art you've ever seen. It's got Miles Morales and Spider-Man on there, and Spider-Man's arm is like got the symbiote coming up it like that. Very, very cool. It was very, very awesome there. They revealed the release date, October 20th. So fairly nice right there. A little bit after Starfield.
Mate,
it's going to give it its own breathing
Insomniac.
room.
Also, I'm glad that they're not releasing it right next to Starfield in case one Starfield is good, but also if it's not, it needs its space to
give it its own it doesn't need to be right. Come on now. But it's also interesting to think that like probably a year after that we're going to get Wolverine. Crazy how they're working
now
on that.
the whole Spider-Man team's freed up. Do you know what I mean? They're going to knock it out in a weekend.
They've done 30% of the game, and then when Spider-Man 2 is finished, it's like done.
Yeah.
They revealed some interesting stuff. They showed a nice, clean image of Venom fighting with Peter Parker and Miles Morales, and you got to see the Venom spider on Venom.
Yeah.
Looked fantastic. But they revealed that it is going to be an original story, so nothing like you've seen in the comics or on TV shows or movies or anything like that. It will not be Eddie Brock, which was...
I like Eddie Brock and Flash as the Venoms, but...
However, it's not going to be those.
Okay.
I have my theory, and I'm going to put it out here.
Let's hear it.
I think it's going to be Kraven. So Kraven was in the trailer. We got PlayStation Studios and whatnot, PlayStation Showcase. I think what's going to happen is Kraven's going to come. He's not a superpowered being. He even says it. He's not a superpowered being. He's just a big, strong guy. He's a hunter. That's his big thing.
He's a
really
predator, and Venom wants to be a predator.
I think what's going to happen is he's going to come to New York. He's going to hunt down Spider-Man. He's going to hunt down Miles Morales. He's going to fail. The symbiote is going to eventually come off of Spider-Man.
And they'll meet up.
He'll attach to Kraven. He'll become fucking Venom.
Yeah.
And it'll be another big showdown again.
I feel like you're right. That's a good story, I think. That's not bad at all.
That's my theory right there. They did reveal the collector's edition as well for that, and it looks freaking fantastic.
God damn it. I'm already down 230 on this Space Marine.
You're down another 230, unfortunately, because it's the same price. And the statue is huge.
Okay.
It's like 17 inches or something like that. So, almost 3 times the size of this Warhammer one.
It's not about the size, okay? Well, I can't see the collector's edition. Hold on one sec. I searched for it, but I don't... Where's the... Oh, no, I found it.
You found it?
I found it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice right there. Pretty nice. We all instantly orgasmed about it. It was quite nice. Right?
Oh, I like that white and black / red spider suit with the hood. Yeah. I like that a lot. Oh,
kind of looks Assassin's Creed like though, right? Now
I don't want to play it anymore.
I don't want to play it. No. Okay, once that was gone, as I said, nobody wanted to know any more games after this.
Yeah.
There was something called Pal World, which is almost like a Pokemon with guns game, apparently.
Sounds good.
Land of the Morning Light. Again. Lord of the Rings. Temoria, is a... Again, no one cared about that. Then we started to pick up some more interesting stuff. Final Fantasy 7 Crisis.
Oh God,
7 Ever Crisis.
No,
which was is a mobile game. That's what he's here for. And then Jeff Keighley did something really funny. It cut to him and he was like, "Wasn't that great, guys? All right. If you're looking for more Final Fantasy," and everyone went, "Oh, oh, oh, oh," in the crowd, you could hear them go, "Ah!" It's like, no, really, no. Don't. I mean, if you're looking, DoorDash has your back with an exclusive pack that you can buy. If you buy your groceries, you get a themed so and so from Final Fantasy 16, and it's like, oh,
You know,
everyone was like,
I'm going to choose to believe that's excitement for an FF9 reveal.
I think that's what it was, or it could be something else that's coming up later in the.
Yeah,
show.
well, I mean, they could just be really excited for FF16, which is totally legit as
Could
well.
be.
Like, and it looks good. If it's even got you interested,
Yes.
so like FF16 could be cool. Now, I'm gonna say, if they do release 9, you're never seeing me ever again. You know?
Well, let's see what else they revealed. Banishes Ghost of New Eden. Don't know about this. Apparently releasing later this year. Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name, was announced. It's basically a Yakuza-styled game.
That's cool.
Featuring Andrew Tate. There was a guy in it that looked just like Andrew Tate.
Cool.
And I was like, it's weird that you chose this. I mean, whatever. No problem. All right, do it. You do you. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gets its Season 4 trailer of Warzone.
Yeah.
Porsche is now 75 years old and revealed an Xbox Series X themed 75-year Porsche edition. Imagine a red and white popcorn tub.
Yeah.
Except multicolored, right? Not just
Yeah,
red and white. That's what it looked like. And it had 75 written on it.
Winner.
Now, apparently you can't buy this. I mean, Xboxes aren't selling from
Right.
stop, so there's that.
That's a big point. Well, the thing is, like, why would you want? You could buy even if you could, you'd end up with an Xbox.
Exactly.
So,
But apparently there's a way to win one of them, and I was like, okay, cool. Marvel Snap, a mobile game, releasing next week, some sort of conquest mode or something like that. King Arthur Legends Rise, another mobile game. Wayfinder, which is in early access. Unreal Editor for Fortnite is out now, and Fortnite Season 4, which is called Wilds, is out tomorrow, and it was shown
sick.
off.
Oh my god, yeah, let's hear more about that.
One thing that was interesting in it is that it had Optimus Prime in it. And I was like, oh, cool, that's awesome. Except Optimus Prime is the size of every other character.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's Mini Prime. That's not cool. Mini Prime isn't cool. You're like, the whole thing makes Prime
It's
cool.
like-
Like,
It's sort of like you thought you were going to get a Transformers toy, but your mum gave you one of the Happy Meal Transformers
Yes.
toys, you know?
it's like, okay, all right. Anyway, strange miss from Fortnite there. Star Trek Infinite strategy game was announced. Again, Alpha was creaming himself. We got an advert for the TV show, the Twisted Metal TV show from PlayStation.
Okay.
It looked what you would expect from a Twisted Metal
I was gonna
video
say-
game TV show.
I wouldn't have had high hopes for that.
It was Anthony Mackie, and he was being okay. And there was
Anthony
a guy-
Mackie's great, but like again, just because someone's great doesn't mean they can carry everything. You know?
It really wasn't all that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm kind of confused. Anyway, moving on from that, it's going to be on Peacock, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Immortals of Aveum, which is that magic.
The magic thing, yeah.
It got a new trailer, and the main character, was on stage as well. He seemed kind of likable, and
Cool.
it seemed more of the. There seems like too much going on for me personally. So
Yeah,
I'm a bit. If he's still.
I sort of agree. Like initially, I loved the sound of the idea. I was like, that could be really interesting. And then I saw it, and I'm like, it visually pleasing, but I feel like there's too much going on to actually play this thing.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, definitely with you.
And then, the final thing that they showed at the showcase, the big bang to end it all on. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. It got a brand new trailer featuring gameplay, and yes, it's coming out early 2024 on 2 discs, apparently.
That is very throwback.
Yes.
but also just because it sounds like it's enormous.
Also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Final Fantasy Rebirth sorry, I'm right, PS4?
Yeah, it was
It's
two
also
discs as
coming out
well.
on PS4 as well, which is strange.
Yeah, it's not.
I guess they just want to make more sales
I
or
guess.
whatever, but anyway, it's coming out on 2 discs. And
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting you to say 9 there anyway, because that's something I would have heard about.
yeah.
You know, that's something where, I mean, even if I hadn't been on the internet in 2 days or however long, my brother would have been like, yo, unquestionably this, you know, clear your, from its release date to 6 months past its release date, quit your job, we're doing this, you know, like, yeah. So,
Well, there you go. Unfortunately, your dreams are not to be satisfied. There are still rumors going around that apparently it is in development somewhere, but no official word yet. And that was everything that was at the showcase. That was everything that was at the showcase. It wasn't too bad. There was a few nice little things in there, and a few games that I'm like, okay, I'll go check that out. They're pretty good, like Space Marines 2.
I'll
Pretty
tell you
cool.
this, usually all I see is how crap Summer Games Fest is.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything about it, which is a massive jump up in quality.
Exactly.
You know?
And there wasn't the usual, like, this thing is sponsored. Granted, they had the DoorDash one
Fair enough.
time, but they have a lot more ads, and I didn't notice that
Yeah.
many ads. So they're steering in the right direction. I
That's
feel
good.
like they're progressively getting better.
Yeah.
He's
Feel like-
taking it on board. He's taking the advice and then going. So props.
In fairness, third time's the charm is the expression. So if it's actually not bad after 3, considering it's like basically just a guy who's passionate about it. Obviously he's got contacts and stuff, but yeah, okay, cool. Hopefully number 4's actually like genuinely good. Hey, did you see Summer Game Fest?
Yeah.
I'd like that to happen because now E3's gone.
Yeah.
Like gone. Are you sad about E3 being gone now? I was sad, sort of. And now,
I feel like we get enough of the slack has been picked up now.
yeah.
Whereas we were upset because we had Summer Game Fest and that first Summer Game Fest really badly sucked. We was like, oh no, did we
We traded down. We traded down.
Oh my god, I left this beautiful girl and now I've got this. That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
But it just took a bit of time for Jeff to get it right, and it seems like he's getting there. And we do have still the other big hitters like PlayStation, even if they did disappoint us in the last showing and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let me kick it over to our boys who wrote over on Discord about the showcase, about the Summer Games Fest show, to get everyone's
Let's get some opinions.
Oh wait, I went too far. Here we go. Dark Umlaut. Sonic, and also Nick Cage. It's good. God, here we go. So this Adam's about to say something here. Context. The Mortal Kombat trailer came on, and you know how I am with names and reading and everything like that's always wrong. There was the guy that has the 4 arms in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
His name's Goro, right?
Yeah.
I called him Gordon in Mortal Kombat, and there was a guy who had a red blindfold on. He was blind, but he was like fighting, and I called him Michael Cox as Daredevil when it's Charlie Cox. So Adam was like, Gordon from Mortal Kombat and Michael Cox as Daredevil. Woo! Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
So that's a joke on me right there.
Michael Cox.
Cryptic, hashtag Get Juice on Streamcast, says Spider-Man 2 release date announcement was sick, October 20th. Love the concept art. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth was so hype as well. Honestly preferred this conference to the PlayStation one. As I said,
Fair.
expectations were a lot lower for this than it was for that one, so that might affect it a bit, but there was some good games showing off here, so can't fault it.
BS Bro 2 said, Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. He doesn't say the dun-duns, but they're assumed.
You have to put them in this
Yeah,
one,
it's actually the law.
Yeah.
Show was kind of mid, to be honest. Interesting
Terrible.
differences.
Terrible.
Every showcase seems to be people saying, "Get hyped, calm down, guys. It won't be that big." Like Aaron Greenberg from Xbox did. Literally hyped up people, then told them to keep their expectations low. Like the insiders from PlayStation did. What the fuck is even the point if you're just going to overhype it for people only to then get them disappointed by doing frickle with your events? It's just kind of a waste of time for everybody. Getting more to Combat 1 trailer was cool. It was nice to see the new timeline finally after getting the tease about MK11, but I still got a lot of questions like Scorpion and Sub-Zero brothers now. Is Noob Saibot Scorpion then? Wait, that's a good question. I know. Well, that's not what noobs usually. I know you have no freaking clue what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. Weird that I stopped to be like, that's not the relationship between.
Hold on.
Yeah. I have a question for everyone for the first time, Ainsley.
Oh, here we go. Let's save the question for the last bit.
Okay.
Actually. Let's go through those though. Alan Wake, BS Bro 1 wrote in and he said, I love the trend that indie shows sometimes being better than the main event for me. Continued with Day of the Devs. Oh, Day of the Devs was right after that showcase. I didn't watch it, but you guys, it was. But that was the event so far. Cocoon was showing off for the first time. Something. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm happy you enjoyed it. As for the main event, I was only interested in Under the Waves and maybe Sonic as the new game for my wishlist. Alan Wake 2 gameplay looks strong, and I loved seeing Sam Lake on stage. He even did the Max Payne face. I didn't know there was a face for Max Payne. Alan Wake released 4 days before Red Dead Redemption, and now Alan Wake 2 is releasing 3 days before Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, buddy, that's the way.
It's the Horizon Forbidden West curse. The Horizon curse.
Mate, that's actually big sads.
Feel bad for Alan. I feel bad for good old Alan. It's the Horizon Syndrome all over. Guerrilla Collective the day before. Okay, you watched a few of the other ones right there. Well, I'm glad you watched some of the other showcases. We can talk about that on Discord and stuff like that. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. Do you want to read Tailgate's one?
Yeah, buddy. Tailgate says, Summer Games Fest was really mid. I watched it with some Discord friends and was able to laugh at it with them, which made it much more bearable.
He wasn't watching the stream? The fuck?
Fake fan.
Kick him from the server.
Ironically, so we have talked about this. He just sent me, literally like 5 minutes ago, sent me a DM saying, have you seen this? It's that Final Fantasy Unreal Engine remake that I mentioned to you. About, we spoke about this and like, maybe this might have been on the episode that didn't get aired.
No, you did mention it to me. Okay, so it's
basically these guys are trying to remake Final Fantasy 9 in Unreal Engine 5, and it's got thousands of people following it. All the tweets of the gameplay and clips and stuff get thousands of likes and retweets and stuff. We talked about this. Anyway,
saying that popular. Stop trying to hype it up. Jesus.
Yeah. Besides the point, just because he literally just messaged me and now I'm reading his comment. There were so many fantasy and space games at the event. Some of them were unable to be separated because they looked similar. My highlights were Alan Wake 2, Immortals of Avium, and that new 2D Prince of Persia game called The Lost Crown. I have never played any of the classic Prince of Persia games, so it might be something I check out. I really love those old Prince of Persia games, and that's the reason I never played AC, because I was like, it's just trying to be Prince of Persia.
Right.
Which was totally not true, but that was like my perception, so I never played it. Final highlight was Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. You basically play as ghost hunters in the 1600s America, and the game gives me a lot of Legacy of Kain vibes, especially with the ability to switch to the Wraith world. I'm going to copy and paste this one into the search bar, just out of curiosity, because Tailgate also has the correct opinions on Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver. Not really a highlight, just something I find funny. They showed off the cinematic trailer for the Fortnite season. The big surprise for it was Optimus Prime, but I play the game and I keep up with the news for it, and that skin got leaked like a week ago, so it wasn't a big surprise. Still looked kind of cool. Still looks like a kind of a cool season though.
To be fair, you can kind of predict that stuff because like
whatever's
the new Transformer
coming out,
movies come out, I bet you when it comes to Spider-Man, there'll be another Spider-Man one. They'll
Oh,
chuck
there's
Miles
already,
Morales in there and stuff like that.
They already have. It's a Spider-Man glove that you put on and you can web around.
I remember they did
Yeah.
that when Spider-Man came out. So they'll probably
It's
do
back.
a Venom one. They'll probably do
Yeah,
something
that would be dope.
theme
That would
like
be
that.
dope.
So
That would be
don't worry, it'll be done.
I know most of you won't care, but the lady that showed up at the end of the trailer is one of the overarching villains of the game's storyline, who is believed to have died in the last chapter. And yes, the game where a Terminator can shoot the Mandalorian and do the gritty has a story. I actually didn't know there was a story.
There's
to
a
Fortnite.
story in Fortnite?
So
Wait, what?
That's
Wait.
news to me.
That's brand new to me right there. I don't know what's going on.
I had no idea.
Adam writes in and he says, the event was pretty good, a few interesting games, but the star of the show was definitely Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh, God. People were like, oh my God, it had Yuffie in it. Yuffie, oh my God. I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is. I was pissing people off in the chat. I'm like, oh, Yuffie, oh my God, it's so cool. And they're like, Yuffie, motherfucker.
I beg you, don't ever say that again. It just sounds... It sounds so wrong.
Which looked incredible, especially Yuffie.
It's like
as
someone
he
calling
said-
you
he
Edie.
said, yeah, it's pretty bad.
You know?
The game
Oh,
feels
I
less,
love Sheps and that Edie guy. Do you know what I mean? That's how it feels.
feels less I'm gonna like that as well. The game feels less cyberpunk than the first game. It's not set in Midgard anymore, which is something I loved about the first game, but still looks fantastic with the new playable characters, team attacks, and more. Also, hilarious how after the event, Atlas accidentally posted the Persona 3 remake trailer on their Instagram.
Oh no!
That was going to be
what?
shown. It was going to be shown at Sunday's Xbox event. While it has been rumored for a long time, it was amazing to finally see it. It looks great, even better than the graphics of Persona 5. It was just the full trailer, and everyone ripped it. And
Do
they
you know
were like,
what's-
"Well, that's that."
Do you know what's so sad about that? Is someone probably lost their job because of that, and it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
But also, what a frick up! How did you manage that? How did you manage that? Post this, and you post like
When it
totally
says,
different
like,
title.
uploading. All right, I wasn't supposed to post this until the event, right? Uploading. All right, it's done. All right,
Nothing I can do.
nothing I can do now. Yeah, he says it's just saying that it's early 2024. We get 2 Game of the Year contenders that year. Can't wait. If you read this, get fricked. It took you over your podcast with the Weeb Games Talk. You motherfucker. All throughout the thing, I was like, oh, can we just get this Weeb shit out of my face, please? Can we get it?
I definitely see what you're saying. Sorry about that Banisher's Ghost of New Eden game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel that tailgate. I'm gonna keep an eye on that one, I reckon. We finished there? I felt like we were, but
Yeah, it's finished.
I was sort of talking as I was watching the trailer.
That's cool.
Giuseppe says, couldn't be there for the live event, but watched it on Edie's YouTube channel afterwards. And the only thing that was freaking awesome about the event was Spider-Man 2 and its release date. We're in for a treat.
Game of the Year cooking. So Game of the Year cooking. There's so many Game of the Year contenders this year, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
There's a lot. There is a lot.
This is actually going to be a gladiator fight. It's going to be so great.
It's tough. I mean, this year, you got Hogwarts Legacy,
Hogwarts
Jedi
Legacy,
Survivor.
the Zelda game that came out, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Hopefully Starfield is a Game of the Year contender.
Hopefully.
Spider-Man will be a Game of the Year contender.
Definitely.
That's 5 games right there that are like, they're top tier. Top tier.
Yeah.
Should
we do BS Pro 2's question?
Yeah, let's go back to that. So that was all the thoughts on the showcase.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for writing in. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you guys again for the Xbox one. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to read out his question?
Tier's question is this: what game do you wish had a photo mode in it, or which game do you wish had an improved photo mode? I think we should just. What game that doesn't have a photo mode do you think that it should?
I actually really hate when some games come out without a photo mode and then they put it in.
I couldn't care less.
God of War did that and it pissed me off to no end. Because I played it all and then it was like, when I finished, it's like, we've added photo mode.
All that
Oh,
cool, then I'm forced to do New Game Plus if I like the photo mode stuff. Yeah. What's a new game? Yeah. Which of course you were going to do anyway, but now you feel forced to do it.
I tell you what, Stray didn't have a photo mode. And that was one of the
Stray.
most gorgeous games ever.
Stray. Do you know what's weird about Stray is it actually wasn't that gorgeous, but it is.
How do you mean?
It is not graphically stunning. That's your emotional response to the game. It's
Perhaps.
not. Pull up some images. It looks
I think
emotionally
what it is
engaging.
the colours and the lighting made me feel that way.
But graphically, it's not that impressive. Like, I think the Order 1886 looks better than it. It's a 10 or 15 year younger game.
Did that have a photo mode in it?
No, that's a game that should have.
Yep.
That was going to be my pick. It's
Go
funny.
back to it, guys.
I think Order 1886 for me should have had a photo mode. Stray, I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like, it's
And don't
not
get
a
me
very
wrong.
high poly cat.
Right. And nor is the environment really. But there is something about it. It's got a feel. It's got a vibe. It is a great looking game, but it's actually not a great looking game, if you see what I mean.
I feel you.
But I agree. I think photo mode for that would go hard.
If they could get one of those really advanced ones where I think it's the Insomniac games. Yeah, Insomniac games. They've got this cool 3-point lighting system that you can set up, and you can change the colors of the lights as well. So you can get this really cool like neon effect and stuff like that. If they could put that in there, which is obviously unrealistic for an indie game, but if they could, this game would fucking kill it.
I'm trying to think. What other games?
Tell
Obviously,
you what, Star Wars Jedi Survivor needs a good photo.
I just
mode.
kind of assumed it had one.
It has one.
Oh,
It just needs a good one. It's
Got
got a. There's this weird thing that I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe because someone can let me know. But when things move, it's got this weird shimmy effect, right?
okay.
And if you go into photo mode while anything is moving, that shimmy effect is still there, and you can't get rid of it.
I immediately turned off
Motion blur,
motion blur and the other thing that I forget.
film grain. Most people turn those
Immediately.
things off.
Immediately.
I turned off those things to test to see if that was the problem. It wasn't that.
Okay.
So it's like if you're in the middle of like a swipe, Cal's hair moves or something like that,
Yeah.
and then his whole face is like all like fucked up, and I'm like,
no.
I can't even do action shots. What kind of nonsense is
Yeah,
this?
that makes it basically useless. At that point.
There's a thing that you probably notice, and I figured this out, and I know why they do it. If you ever play a game in performance mode, it'll say like God of War, for example, and you go into photo mode, it goes right down to 30 FPS.
Yeah,
The reason for that is because it switches to fidelity mode, so you get
Obviously.
the best photos.
that seems obvious to
Right?
me.
Because you only want 1 frame a second in that moment, so you don't care.
Obviously.
Why doesn't it do anything like that? It's like, okay, turn off the blur, make sure the hair stays still properly, get rid of all that nonsense, make it the best resolution possible, and photo.
I'm going to be honest, I genuinely just assumed that if you hit photo mode, it goes, are you in fidelity mode?
No,
Yes, keep going.
put it
No,
on.
put it in.
Yeah.
And then when you exit, were you in fidelity mode? No, exit to
Yeah.
performance. I genuinely didn't realize people didn't know that.
Yeah, some people don't. Some people have heard them say it. They're like, when you go into photo mode, it just drops down in performance. And I'm like, no, it's
No.
intentionally drops
Yeah.
to 30 FPS.
It doesn't drop down in performance. It goes to fidelity mode.
Boost the resolution,
Yeah.
boost the shadows, everything that makes it look beautiful. And then when you're out, you go back to performance.
Right, why would you want it to be in performance
I want
when
60
it's not
FPS.
performing?
I want 60 FPS while I'm flying around with my camera.
That's like buying a car that you only intend to park, but making sure it's got the top spec engine.
Mate, this thing needs a V10.
It's silly. I'm trying to think what else. Final Fantasy IX, genuinely, when they
old-
remake it.
I would say the old one.
Do you know what's funny? Is there are some actually, obviously the graphics are dated and stuff, but it is, for its time and stuff, it's very pretty. And it still has some very gorgeous cinematics and some gorgeous, like backgrounds and stuff. It probably wouldn't hurt if someone was like, here's a mod for it. There'd still be some cool moments, because there are some cool moments in that game. And the new one better freaking have it. Even I'm not going to take any photos, but I can't wait to see what the people that care about that stuff do with it.
Right.
Have you got any more ones?
No. I'm just...
He said, Tier said, I'd love to see every open world game go to the extent Horizon and Ghost of Tsushima games go to, where you can change the time of day, add music to make it a short clip. That I didn't understand in photo mode to begin with, and now I'm glad. I'm like, why did no one do this?
Ghost of Tsushima, fucking... That whole, like, allow the wind to go and let... So beautiful. The most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was never
As someone
done
that doesn't
before.
get photo mode, I messed around with it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, why would you play the music? Who cares? And then, you see people do it, I'm like, yeah, no, I get it.
I'm also looking at that collector's edition now for Warhammer.
It looks so. I'm genuinely
Cool.
super tempted by that. So you can add music to it to make it a short clip. And the feature from Spider-Man where you can change skins in the photo mode.
Oh yeah, that was a really cool feature as well.
Yeah. I wish BioShock games had photo mode, even if it's just the main character rendered in, because the aesthetics look amazing, especially in Infinite. Also, The Witcher 3, I don't know if they added it in the next gen update since I'm a last gen peasant. Or hear me out, kind of like a multiplayer feature where you'd be able to add to kind of place it.
Sorry, I'm not.
I think he's saying that he wants to add enemies in a separate mode. He's saying he wants to be able to stage a combat scene.
I see. Because right now you can do things where it's like turn off enemies, turn off companions and stuff like that, but you can't physically move around enemies and put them in a good spot.
Right. The only way to get those action shots is to get into the fight, preempt it, and then boom, you hit the button and it's like in the action shot. Which I don't... For me, as someone that doesn't care about photo mode, I'm thinking just do that.
Yeah.
However, for people that actually care about it and want like the best compositions and stuff like that, who actually know about photo mode, some of you guys are incredibly talented, actually can see how that would be really good, you know?
Yeah.
But then you'd have to add like, if you did want the action scenes, you're going to have to add like all the, select the character model. So you got enemy type A, here are all of its attacks, start the attack, you know, it would have its own set of issues that would be very processing heavy, I think, but that would be very cool as well.
I'm trying to find someone that I follow who's a very, very talented, like, in-game... There we go. Dotpone. Dotpone. He does virtual photography in video games, and he's just the best. He's just the best there is.
Yeah.
And he somehow manages to nail all of these kinds of shots, and I don't know how he does them sometimes. Some of them are like the coolest action shots ever.
Even just shots that I wouldn't have thought to do. Like, I'm on his Instagram. The last one he's got is Agraboda, I think.
Yeah.
Just with like sparks coming. Oh, I see. Okay, it's not what I thought it was. That's actually a video. That's my bad. But these are all very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Any poop.
Yeah. Yeah. Why? You know what? Some people are just too talented.
Too talented.
Also,
far beyond anything.
It makes you... One of the things I like about photo mode that I think is unsung is you get to really look at the details of, like, for example, this is one of those elf enemies, right?
Yes.
Like, the level of attention that goes into that for a thing that will be killed in a few seconds and ultimately ignored and somewhat forgotten, like, just how gorgeous this all looks, and the thought that's gone into designing them and rendering it like that, and then someone comes along and gets a badass shot and you go, wait, that's in the game? That's in game, because this is in game. There's no, like we said, there's no way to stage it.
Yeah.
That's the game. That's what you're playing.
And it's running on a PlayStation 5 because, like, it's not on PC.
Yeah, it can only run on a PS5. That's it. That's all there is to it. So,
crazy.
or like, here's another one. Through the
Kratos, you look so good.
It's a shot, if you're wondering, like through the chains of the Chaos Blades.
Yeah.
Like mid strike, and man, it just looks so good. Man, that is a great post. Holy crap!
It's awesome.
Or like how human they can be, you know, blinking the second the picture's taken.
Yeah. And he nails all of those kinds of shots as well. So it's like, how do you do it? How do you do it? Anyway, bro.
Yeah.
That's everything that we have to talk about. Thank you, everybody, for writing in with your thoughts and your questions, just like Tia did right there. Really appreciate everything you guys do and tuning in every week. It's awesome. I'll see you guys on Sunday. If you're watching this on Sunday, I would have seen you on Sunday, or if you're watching on Monday afterwards, I should say. And if you're listening to us on podcast services, give us a little 5-star rating. If you're listening on YouTube, then give us a thumbs up and an engaging comment down below, as Alpha does. And I'm going to double check right now if there's any correcting conversations, because we didn't forget that.
We definitely didn't forget it.
No.
There were no conversation corrections because we're so smart. Big wrinkly brains.
Wrinkly. It's just so like...
400 IQ. That's us. That's us. Our IQs are so high.
They're so high that they can't be measured.
They're called high Qs. That's how big they are, you know?
Alpha writes in with a correcting conversations.
Freaking damn it.
We did get a teaser for Alan Wake 2 at its announcement at the Game Awards 2021. So this wasn't the first trailer. Shadow dropped a few months before launch, but it's the trailer that gave us the full release. I did add to everything. It did add to everything that was captured in the trailer. It was captured on PlayStation 5. Okay, so basically we got it wrong that it wasn't shown before.
What's this we? You got it wrong.
I heard you say it.
I actually don't remember which one of us said it. I was just trying to throw you under the bus.
Car 56.
How's it going, bro?
Right, Sydney says, correcting conversations. At 2 hours, 19 minutes and 50 seconds, Sheps says 15 minutes and 72 seconds. This is wrong because a minute only has 60 seconds, meaning that this should be 16 minutes and 12 seconds. You fucking wrong.
That's not how you count, idiot. Are you stupid? Everybody knows you count timestamps in French.
Exactly.
So it's 16 minutes and 72 seconds.
I'm agreeing with you, but I don't know how that makes it okay. I'm like, exactly, of course.
The only thing I remember about French, because I literally beefed out my French teacher about how it didn't make sense, so I wasn't going to do it, like as if the language is going to change, because I don't think it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. Oh, we'll just change French.
The counting went something like you go like 70.
Yeah.
Right. Or you go 60, 68, 69, 60, 10.
I know
60,
this.
10 and 1.
Yeah.
60, 10 and 2. And I was like, this doesn't make... I'm not doing it. That's stupid. This is stupid.
Okay. Look. This is really important that you take this class, so how about we change French?
Right, exactly.
I know what you mean now. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah. So, get fricked, you uncultured swine.
All right, bro. That's everything. That's actually everything this time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of the True Gamer Podcast. We'll catch you guys all in another 2 weeks with your Conbrosations and True Gamer. And
yeah, buddy. We're finally back on schedule. It took a while.
We're finally back on it. I mean, who knows? Next time we meet each other, it might be even more hotter than it is now. And then our cameras will turn off.
Genuinely. So here's the thing. I think what we'll end up doing is if the cameras can't hack the heat, we've discussed maybe changing the setup. But worst case, it may genuinely be black screen. It might just be audio only for a couple of weeks because it's real hot in here. This AC has been on the entire time, and the temperature in here, I feel like it might have gone up.
I'm warm, bro. I'm so warm.
My feet are comfortable
because we've got the thing.
The AC is directly pointing at our bare feet. You can see the full exclusive there on the OnlyFans. But like from my knees up, I'm really quite warm. I am quite warm.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Cool.
Thank you, everybody.
Catch you later,
for joining
boys.
us. See ya.
See ya.